Hey, what's going on everybody? Commander Crane here, and we are back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about 10 Tarkir Dragonstorm singles that you should pick up right now. So obviously with the amount of sets that's coming out now, another set is just around the corner here. I believe the next one is Final Fantasy, and I think it's a really good idea that you should pick up these Tarkir Dragonstorm singles before they start rising in price, just because when a new set comes out, people are opening all this product. Some of the singles tend to be a little bit lower, and then as time goes on, they tend to be higher. So a lot of it's just, I think these cards are really undervalued, and I think you should pick them up now, because I wouldn't be surprised if they are pricier in the very near future. But the quick thing I have to mention right away though, Commander Crane is not a financial expert. It is not liable for bad investments. I mean, I'm not a wizard. I can't predict the future. Otherwise, you know, I'd be winning the lottery every week. But anyways, these are just 10 cards that I think you should pick up. Okay, so number 10, I have Inevitable Defeat. Shout out Ryan. This card is just really good. I think that there's a strong chance that if there's a need for exile effects in Standard or even maybe Pioneer, I think this card could be much better. There's a number of different decks that can take advantage of a nice Mardu spell like this, and yeah, I think you should just be picking this thing up. If you're playing a Mardu commander deck, I think that this is just a really good include. It can't be countered, so you can't get got by like Fierce Guardianship or Forceful or anything like that. It just gets rid of your opponent's commander, and hey, sometimes their commanders are indestructible, you know, like you're playing against like an Avacyn Angel of Hope, for instance. This is just a really good card, and considering how cheap it is, I think it's a pretty darn good pickup. So yeah, that's why I have Inevitable Defeat at number 10. And at number 9, I have Herd Heirloom. So this card has been relatively figured out. It was like about $1, and then within about a week or two, it did go up to about $4.50, $5. But I still think that this card is just really good if you're playing a deck that plays any big creature type. So if you're playing, you know, if you're playing like avatars or angels, if you're splashing green, that is, or dragons or dinosaurs or beasts or any big creature type, this is an auto include. I think it's a fantastic mana rock that you can play in Commander. It does only tap for creature spells, but it doesn't matter. This card is just so good, and that's why I've got it at number 9. And at number 8, I have Marang River Regent. This card is super strong once again. People are starting to figure it out a little bit though, because this card was less than $1, starting to go up because a bunch of the control decks in Standard are starting to play it. But I think it's just a really good card. At least in a vacuum, like if you're playing this in Kitchen Table, it's a great card. The coil and catch side of it is fantastic. You get the really nice dragon side of this. It's good in a number of different decks. If you're playing Control in many different formats, I think this is a great option. Obviously, if you're playing a dragon deck, I think this is an auto include, because I mean, being able to return 2 other non-land permanents to the owner's hand, and you get the nice body, that's just a really good rate. So you should definitely pick up your Marang River Regents if you have not already. And that's why I've got a number 8. Number 7, I have, sorry, I always can never process on, Ureni, the Song Unending. This card is so strong. Basically, the new Dragon Lord of Tarka. The reason I like this is because of the protection from white and black. It's a type of card that there's a strong chance that could be a good reanimation target because it is a 10/10 flyer, and again, protection from white and black. That basically protects you from all of the best removal in multiple formats for the most part. And then the nice ETB is fantastic. Again, it's a dragon, so you really want to play it in your dragon decks. It's just, it's a good payoff for teamer ramp decks, you know, in Standard and Pioneer, in Commander, obviously. It's also a pretty solid commander in its own right in terms of if you're looking to play a dragon that's not like crazy strong like Marang, you know, and you want to play maybe something a little bit different, but this card is just also super strong, and that's why I've got it at number 7. Pick up your copies if you have not already. Okay, number 6, I have Clarion Conqueror. So right off the bat, it's a good card. 3/3 flying, activated abilities of artifacts, creatures, and planeswalkers can't be activated. The reason I really like this card in particular is I think people are undervaluing it once again in the Commander format. There's so many different artifacts and creatures that have activated abilities, and if you're playing like a dragon deck or even just any white deck, you can throw this in there and it's going to be fantastic. The other reason I like this is because every so often the Oathbreaker format starts taking off a little bit and people get excited and start picking up all these cards that are really good in the Oathbreaker format, like Questing Beasts and stuff like that. And in Oathbreaker, you're playing all these Planeswalkers, and Clarion Conqueror can shut all of them down single-handedly. It's also a 3/3 flyer for 3, which in that format is pretty darn solid just because you're only at 20 life, and you can easily take out Planeswalkers with about 2 attacks. So yeah, I think it's really worth picking up Clarion Conqueror. It's floating about $1 right now, and I think it's a really, really good pickup. Okay, number 5, I have Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon. And I really like this pickup just because of all the Dragonlands typically tend to go up every time a new Dragon set comes out or a new Dragon Commander deck. Like I remember Haven of the Spirit Dragon for a long time was like a 50-cent rare, and then it went up to about like $4 or $5 just because everyone needs it in your Commander deck. I mean, yeah, it's a staple. If you're building a Commander deck, you want it in there, and Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon is the newest example of that. But there's not as many copies floating around just because it's in the set. Haven of the Spirit Dragon is pricier, but it's also been in like so many Commander decks, and obviously it was in Dragons of Tarkir, and I really think that Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon is super cheap considering the effect of this card. Again, especially gravitating toward Commander, again, it searches your library for a dragon, you're playing all these different one-ofs, so you have a lot of different utility in terms of what you can search up. So yeah, Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon, pick up your copies, it's only $1.25. Okay, number 4, I have Bloomvine Regent. There's one reason I like this card, and it's probably the most unique option of the bunch. So obviously, you know, this card seems pretty solid and standard. It's a good ramp card. The main reason is because this is a fantastic kitchen table card. So kitchen table card, the reference I like to make is Elder Gargaroth. Elder Gargaroth holds like a $10, $15 price tag pretty much always. And the reason it does is because it's just a good card in a vacuum. You know, like I'm not to go off on a huge tangent here, but Elder Gargaroth is just such a good card, and it doesn't even see play in any format. It's just a really good card, and that's essentially what Bloomvine Regent is. It's just a really good card. A lot of people that play kitchen table are gonna love this card in their green ramp deck. Feels really good. Obviously, you got like the better-ish cultivate there, and then the other side you get a nice flying dragon. So yeah, it makes sense. Pick up copies of this card. It's $1. That's super cheap for a really, really good card in its own right. So yeah, Bloomvine Regent is number 4 on the list. Number 3, I have Frostcliff Siege, a card that is incredibly underrated. Again, just this effect is fantastic. It reminds me of the, the original 3-mana cycle. That's really good because the Teamer one I know is like gives your creatures haste, and then whenever a creature with power 4 enters, you draw a card. But this is somewhat similar, but a little bit different. So obviously you got the Jeskai mode there where you can draw some extra cards. But the reason I really like it is the Teamer side. Creatures you control get +1/+0, have trample and haste, I think is just so strong. If you're playing a go wide token deck, it's good. If you're playing like a blue-red or a Teamer deck that plays all these big monsters, being able to give them trample and haste is just incredibly strong. This card is so underrated. It's my favorite of the sieges just because of the tools that it provides. And yeah, I think this card is super cheap and you should pick copies up of it. It's floating about $1 right now. Go ahead and pick them up. I wouldn't be surprised, after, a few months after the set comes out, this is going to be like a $4 or $5 card. Okay, number 2, I have Quarry Mountain Monastery as the main one of these lands, but I would say all the lands except for the blue ones are really good pickups right now. All of the effects are really, really nice. The other basic land types that these are paired with are generally pretty good. Like again, with Quarry Mountain Monastery, like playing Boros or playing Izzet is pretty common. And then you have like the green one, which works with black and blue, which is pretty common. But I really do like a lot of these. Obviously, I think Quarry Mountain Monastery has the best effect of the bunch. And it's so good. Like, there's so many different decks that you could play this in if you're playing mid-range, or if you're playing really if you're playing any color deck in Commander. Like, if you're playing 3 colors, no reason you couldn't just go ahead and slot in a few of these. Maybe, I think it's better than probably some of like the cycle lands people like to include in their deck. It's just free. I think this card is fantastic. I really like the whole land cycle, and they're all less than $1. It's just a really easy pickup, and that's why I've got it at number 2. Okay, number 1. I think the card that everyone should be picking up from Tarkir Dragonstorm is one of the best cards in the set. That is Craterhoof Behemoth. It's floating at $14 right now, but I can tell you it was way more than this before Craterhoof came out. It's gotten 2 really good reprints recently. I'd say, 1.5 good reprints. It got the Old Border one from Innistrad Remastered, but it was a collector booster exclusive, and then this one was printed in the actual set. If you're interested in playing Craterhoof Behemoth, I definitely recommend picking copies of this up. It's not going to stay at this price for long, especially if it finds a home in Standard or Pioneer. If it finds a home in Standard or Pioneer, I think this card's going to go up even more, just because, you know, obviously you have like your Commander players that are interested in this, you have your kitchen table players that want it, and then you're going to have your 60 card format, you know, aficionados that are going to want this card. So I really think you should pick copies up of this if you're interested in playing. Most decks don't even want like 3 to 4 copies. Like, for instance, like Elves typically just wants 1. So I would definitely consider at least picking up 1. Save yourself a little bit of money in the future, just because this is such a good card. And once the set gets a little bit older, it's going to go right back up. So I cannot recommend enough to pick up your copies of Craterhoof Behemoth. Okay, so that takes us to the end of the video here. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section below if there's a card from Tarkir Dragonstorm that you think people should be picking up just because it's a really good speculation. You think it's going to go up. Whatever the reason, let me know what you think in the comment section. Huge shout out to our channel members, Ralph, Matt, Arcadius, Ray, Gary, Sarwanoki, Michael D, our premium channel member, The Common Colb, and Jeremy P. If you're interested in being a channel member, it starts at $1 a month, and you get access to the exclusive Commander Crane Discord, as well as other features here on the channel. So, I'm Commander Crane, thanks for watching this video, and hope to catch you in the next one.